Detective Vincent LaRusso has been formally charged with first-degree murder in the death of Tyrone Weeks. Let's look in on his bail hearing.
This man is not just a flight risk, Your Honor. He is a violent individual who represents a risk to each and every one of us. $500,000 is not unreasonable bail.
Come on, Karen. This man's never been arrested. He has roots in the community, Your Honor.
The district attorney's office believes, Your Honor, that Vincent LaRusso will in fact flee the jurisdiction if faced with the possibility of imprisonment.
I have to tell you, I'm inclined to believe the same thing.
Sidney can't change the judge's mind even after he explains what's going to happen to a cop if you put him in jail with all the guys he's busted. $500,000 it is.
I'm going to get a court order to keep you segregated from the general population.
Yeah, well, don't hold your breath. Meaning nobody's looking to cut me any slack right now, you know? Of course, if you're really that worried, you could put up the money yourself.
Don't ever change, Vincent. Always be that manipulative bully we know and love. And realize you've probably met your match in Sydney.
I learned a long time ago, Vincent, there are some things you do for your clients and some things you don't do. Posting bail? That's one of the things I don't do. Keep your chin up.
Keep your chin up. That makes it easier for those guys behind you to hit it. Peter Onorati finally gets to sing.
If you want a piece of me, just take your place in line. But you better not miss and you better not waste my time. You can shove a blade inside my...
The chorus says you can't keep a good man down. And the thing is, he really believes he's that good man. He honestly believes he did a good thing when he killed Tyrone Weeks. And it's almost as though he doesn't want to be segregated. He wants to go into the general populace and show everybody how big his doodads are. The shower's a good place to do that.
Looks like you don't have too many friends in there.
Well, you want to be my friend?
No, man, I don't want to be your friend.
Then how come you're standing so close?
This ain't close.
I tell you what, you come any closer, you're going to be missing some parts.
That's just talk.
Let's talk.
Come on.
Anybody else want to talk?
Okay, they're really big. After the opening credits, we see Ralph on the phone, apparently getting some very bad news.
Ralph, somebody die?
Yeah. According to my doctor, me. Unless I drop 35 pounds.
So do something about it.
Sure. Well, I give up all my worldly pleasures.
Dude, find new ones. That's what I had to do. I've been a salt fiend all my life. Now I'm allowed something like 26 medium-sized granules a day, and I have to measure each one to make sure it's only medium size. And you know what? I've learned to enjoy it. For once in my life, I have someone who needs me. No, that was Stevie Wonder. For once in my life, I'm tasting food, not salt. He can accomplish a lot just by taking up walking a couple of miles a day. You don't have to jog, pump iron, all that crap. Just walk a good distance. Explore the neighborhood. Go to a park. Take a walk with your wife. Last episode he made a date with her and then had to break it. That's a perfect way to atone for it. But Ralph is like a lot of people. He's afraid of change. Speaking of changing things, someone has had a serious change of heart.
I sold my baby. I told myself that it was the best thing for her. And then I told myself that I had no choice. I told myself whatever I had to, and I sold her to get money for drugs. So, now I know that unless I get help and get off drugs and get my baby back, that I'm gonna kill myself. I've got nobody else that I could turn to.
There's something you don't hear every day, Chauncey. Vicky goes to the captain because Patty is ready to help them catch the guy who bought Little Crystal. See, the law calls that slavery, buying and selling human beings. It can get you lots of time behind bars.
My girlfriend Amy had this lawyer one time who helped her beat this solicitation thing. She told me that he knew somebody who could do this, who could sell your baby for you.
She went to the lawyer, and naturally he denied everything. Then some guy named Glenn called her and told her he could set it up. Ain't that a coinky-dink?
What's the lawyer's name?
Philip Beamer.
That's somebody we know, Bobby?
Yes, Mr. Beamer's known to us.
And not in a good way, I gather. Vicky hasn't promised Patty anything. She's doing this freely and hoping they won't prosecute her, too. She's come to them begging for treatment and admitting to what she did. I see no reason not to be lenient and help her get into rehab.
All right. If there isn't anything more, see to it that she's booked.
What?
Keep me informed.
Unless, of course, you're just a dick.
She cooperated. She gave us everything she had.
And she copped a felony.
Captain, she came forward of her own free will.
I understand that, and if that helps her down the line, that's well and good. But right now, my job is to make the bust. Do you understand that, officer?
Yes, but
Good.
If that's how he sees his job, he shouldn't be in that job. He should be in a job where they can appreciate you being a dick, like politics. And he just goes into his office and leaves her holding the bag.
I just walked right into it, didn't I?
this wasn't supposed to happen.
You know, I thought I came here with nothing to lose. Oh, boy, was I wrong.
You lied. You said it would be all right. You lied.
And the blame. She's broke, addicted, and homeless, so she'll end up with a public defender who has an impossible caseload. He or she will tell her to cop a plea of some kind and never address how instrumental she'll be in busting a baby selling ring. Greatest legal system on the planet, folks.
Why do they let you come so close? And then they take it all away.
All valid questions. She came to them for help to get off drugs and find her baby. They gave her, no, let me correct that. He's giving her jail with no hope, and for no good reason except the letter of the law, and a major case of attitude.
Hey, I don't want much, but you gave me nothing. If that's all I'm worth, then there's nothing to say.
A country that doesn't take care of its poor, no matter the cost, is not great. But while the captain may be treating Patty like dirt, Vicky and Andy are undercover trying to track down her baby.
Please, Mr. Beamer, we're desperate. We want a child so badly.
I'm sorry.
Come on, hon. You have our number.
There's really nothing I can do.
And now we wait. But since we told him money is no object, we won't have to wait long.
You know the Wheeler Boulevard entrance to the park in Silver Lake? There's a footpath.
I'll find it.
I'll be walking a Dalmatian. You do the same. What? The wrong musical.
Young mother, a kid in her teens, smart enough to realize that she's not ready for the responsibility of bringing up a brand new baby boy. I don't know if that makes a difference, boy or girl.
No, a boy's what we wanted most.
A Caucasian child, 2 weeks old, in perfect health.
And how much is this going to cost us?
$11,000.
Remember, he paid Patty $200 for her baby. Then he sells them for $11,000. This guy is taking advantage of poor people's misery to enrich himself. I'm not sure there's a hole deep enough to throw him in. Okay, they could probably make one. May as well let them throw him in, too, since they did all the work.
I'm the baby merchant. Tots are us. I give you all the service and no damn fuss. Give the baby merchant just a week or two. I'll have your baby for you.
He's so convincing as this slime ball, I knew I had to either punch the screen or look him up. I just bought this monitor, so I think I'll look him up. His name is Dennis Cockrum. He's been acting steadily for more than 25 years, and you've probably seen him in other things. Right now, he teaches acting at Mount San Antonio College in Southern California. If he teaches his students to act as well as he does, they'll go far. I really want to see this guy in handcuffs. Now, do they have to wait until he actually brings them a baby, or can they bust him now? How does California law read on that?
11,000. We could do that.
Stay available. I'll be in touch.
That answers that question. While they're waiting, LaRusso has a visitor.
The Court of Appeals ruled that $500,000 was excessive and unreasonable bail. They knocked it down to $100,000. It's $10,000 cash.
I don't have $10,000 in cash.
All right. You put up what you have in the bank, and I'll put up the rest.
This isn't Sydney's doing. This is all Trish. Why would she do that? We can't tell you right now. It's lunchtime.
Ralph, I got your lunch.
Vicky, for crying out loud. I can't go on eating this stuff. Look at the colors of this
Don't
stuff.
take this. Ralph, it's your diet. It's your health. If you don't want to eat it, it's up to you.
There's a message on the machine from Glenn. Let's do it. Oh, how's the diet? What?
Officer Quinn and Officer Can't Read the Room head off to see about Glenn.
Lieutenant, triple homicide, MacArthur Avenue. You better get over there.
Good. Take my mind off food.
Skipping a meal now and then will also help you lose weight, but you don't want to do it too much. The scene looks like your basic mob hit. 3 guys in suits sitting at a restaurant table, all shot multiple times.
3 in the lower right quadrant of the skull. Individual seated at 6 o'clock appears to have sustained 2 gunshot wounds, approximately the same dimension. 1 just above the sternum, 1 in the vicinity of the first thoracic vertebra. Right.
Heart health was very different in 1990. Everybody around Ralph is basically trying to get him to eat vegetables almost exclusively, cut out all fat, red meat, and I'm glad I didn't have any serious issues then. Today, we've learned that I can eat pretty much whatever I want to in moderation. Use the salt in moderation. Have whatever meat I like in moderation. Eat a gallon of ice cream in moderation. The key to a good life is balance.
You got all that?
Yeah.
Well, maybe you should see if you need it outside.
Yes, sir.
He's got 3 meals to pilfer from. That sounds pretty balanced to me. Vicky and Andy are in a hotel room. There's a knock at the door.
Stick around for an hour before you go.
Right.
Freeze, police. Don't move.
Hold it. His lawyer is Mr. Beamer, of course. He wants to make a deal because Glenn is small fry.
This is a major syndicate. Branch offices in 13 states. He can lead you to the real players in all this.
For which in return he wants immunity.
Right.
Honestly, it seems like a good trade, if his information is accurate and leads to some major arrests.
It's gonna take some time before we know whether what you tell us pans out. In the meantime, let's show a little good faith right now.
How?
Tell us who you sold Patty Spence's baby to.
That also seems like a reasonable request.
Sir, I have a warrant here charging you with 181 of the Penal Code, slavery. I'm afraid both you and your wife are under arrest. Please give the infant to the uniformed officer, man.
No, get away from me. Stand back, sir. No,
Sir, stand back.
Take my baby. No, please.
Sir, step outside, please. Step outside.
Please, don't take her. Please, are you?
Baby Crystal is back in the foster system for now. Meanwhile, the mayor and the police chief have to attend some kind of function together. The chief is beside himself. He does not want to do this.
If you aren't one ugly woman, Mayor, if you aren't the foulest looking buzzard-beaked Gila monster I ever saw.
Chief Kendrick,
Yes, ma'am?
are you ready?
I'm waiting for the mayor, ma'am.
Here I am.
I believe the word you're looking for is party. Now that she doesn't look like something from a 1950s Japanese monster movie, he is completely smitten.
I should have seen your natural beauty just hiding in there. Louise, Your Honor, would an old cowpoke be overstepping his bounds if he were to
Calculate? Carrots? Carburetor?
Kiss?
Oh, that. I would have gotten it eventually. How's Ralph holding up?
Hey, Bobby, you know, I'm rethinking this whole exercise.
Keep it up,
thing.
Ralph. No pain, no gain.
No pain, no gain.
Yeah, people used to say that. Now doctors and physical therapists say don't do that. If it hurts, you did it wrong. I'm inclined to listen to them because I can not do stuff all day.
Turning into nothing but a ball of pain. Now everybody's telling me to lose some weight, but that's not the way I'm designed. It may be their idea of living, but brother, you know it's not mine.
You don't know how much I wish I could just let these songs play. This one alone is worth the price of the DVD set, especially if you're like most of us and have some extra pounds that somebody's nagging you to lose. The chief and the mayor say goodnight and she sings a song to her image in the mirror. She still can't believe this is happening and that someone actually wants to be with her. It's a nice moment that gives us a glimpse into her self-image. In her mind, she's still a hatchet face that nobody could love, and she's going to need some time to adjust to being pretty for the first time in her life. Right now, it all seems like a big fantasy. The song conveys all that in a gentle, piano-driven introspection that brings the episode to a soft, reflective end. This is a good show. The stories are well crafted and well executed. The songs, for the most part, are smoothly integrated into the storylines and help move things along while giving us some really good music to listen to. I honestly have never been able to figure out why all the hate. Part of me suspects the show was just ahead of its time. You could find an audience for it today, especially on the internet, and I'd be delighted to see somebody try. I can kick in $1.05 to help fund it, and if you don't put in your $1.05, who will?